After 12 years of relying on YNAB, You Need a Budget, to completely transform my finances, they have reinvented themselves and they've invented a new word. Does this rebrand actually help or just confuse? I have thoughts.
Welcome to your Money on Easy mode with Damien.
So if you've been around this channel for a while, you know that I'm an evangelist of YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. It's budgeting software that helps you get your finances in order, plan for your next months of expenses, track your net worth, etc., etc., etc. It's amazing. I'm not much of a salesman myself, but I've sold tons of my friends on this software. So imagine my surprise when I see a YouTube video drops by two of their employees explaining the rebrand for YNAB and a new word that they're using to explain what it is that you do when you use YNAB. Let's take a look.
All right. So let's talk about spendfulness. This word, I'm going to put it up with shinies on either side. Spendfulness. What does this mean, Ernie? What are we talking about? Let's go over what it is, and then we'll talk about like our process, how we kind of landed here, how we got here.
Absolutely. So it's a state of alignment.
Mm-hmm.
It's an alignment of the way you spend with the life that you want to live.
Yeah, I love it.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it's and I like it's a state. It's like a place that you can be in your mind. You know what I mean? Like a way that you can live. It's not like a thing that you achieve or something that you are done with. It's just a place that you can be. And it is a portmanteau, which is one of my favorite words.
What is that?
A portmanteau.
Please explain.
So a portmanteau is when you take two words and you smush them together. Like I can't think of a single example, but it's spending and mindfulness. Mindful spending, spendfulness. So if you're ever like, what the heck does this mean? Just say, yeah, it's mindful spending. So why
did that make sense to you? Yeah, me neither. Okay, a portmanteau of mindfulness and spending. Here's the thing with the English language and portmanteaus. They're only as useful as if you understand what the two words are that you're squishing together. Spend in spendfulness, okay, I get what spend means, but the fullness part, you chopped off mind of mindfulness, which is the part of the word that means anything. Fullness is a suffix that could be stuck on a whole bunch of different words. So does spendfulness mean mindful spending or happiness spending or some other sort of spending fullness? This is a worthless portmanteau, in my opinion. This feels like some marketing. I seriously doubt this word is going to catch on. 5 years from now, is everyone going to be using the term spendfulness, or is it just going to be one of those tossed aside marketing ideas that never caught on? And another problem with the spendfulness portmanteau, the fullness could mean something like wellness. Like when I hear spendfulness, I think my wallet's going to a yoga retreat or something. It just isn't working. Okay, so that's spendfulness, the new portmanteau. In my opinion, it's garbage. I love you, YNAB. Sorry I had to say that. Next clip.
Banging head against the wall, being like, hey guys, budgeting is awesome. And in fact, I remember when we decided, so there was a point this year where we decided on the marketing team, and it happened elsewhere earlier too, where we're like, we're just not going to say budget anymore. And we tried, and it was hard. It was complicated, right? But it was also really, really powerful because I started saying things. I don't know. I felt like I started talking about how using YNAB is great instead of saying using a budget is great, right? And it's really true. It's so much better because we're talking more about YNABing instead of budgeting.
Yep.
And it's different. It's because the word budget means so many different things to so many different people, but mostly what it means is just tracking. And we're doing a lot more than tracking here,
Stop trying to trick people into budgeting by not calling it a budget. If you tell someone to do YNABing, that means nothing. If you tell someone that you're doing budgeting, they have some background on that term. Maybe people have a bad impression of the word budget. That means we need to rehabilitate the word budget because budgeting is what we're doing. Budgeting gives us freedom and it gives us a framework to live responsible, productive, wealthy lives. So stop trying to trick people into budgeting by calling it YNABing. You're not the only ones who do this, YNAB. Ramit Sethi, another one of my favorite financial gurus, calls his budget a conscious spending plan, which, when you take a look at it, it's a 50-30-20 budget, but he runs away from the term budget. We're budgeting, that's what we're doing. It's a good thing.
Way before we invented the word.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's funny because, I mean, I'll just say it. YNAB as a company, we've been in a little bit of an identity crisis for the past couple of years because we've had this. We really have, because we've had this rumbling of like, okay, our name is You Need a Budget. We changed our name. I don't know if we didn't announce it. We didn't say like, oh, we're changing our name. You might have noticed we don't say You Need a Budget anymore. We just
Right. We're YNAB.
We're YNAB. Yeah.
YNAB.com.
Yeah. So we changed our name.
Here we go. We're getting at the root of things. So let's tally this up. YNAB has had an identity crisis, and they came up with a new catchphrase. Sounds to me like YNAB needs to see a therapist. Here's the thing. YNAB teaches us to embrace our true expenses, meaning see reality for what it is, what you spend your money on, and plan for it. YNAB, you need to embrace your true identity as budgeting software. It's in your name. You need a budget. You are a budget. Okay, last clip.
The thought I had when thinking about how this fits with our community, I mean, just think of our community. I mean, these are folks who travel, hundreds of miles, sometimes thousands of miles to get together with other budget nerds, right? These are people who have YNAB license plates, maybe YNAB tattoos. They put YNAB in their vows. Like, we are a unique group of individuals.
Yeah.
So true. I am a full-fledged member of the YNAB cult. I admit it, and I tell everyone else about it. I'm a YNAB missionary. Funny side note, I actually left the religion of my birth, which is the same religion as the founder of YNAB, and joined the YNAB cult. The only reason I don't have a YNAB lower back tattoo is because my wife won't let me. When she eventually passes, I plan to get a YNAB tramp stamp in her memory. So let's wrap this up. YNAB, I love you, and I'm giving you my opinion because I want you to be better, and I want more people to use your software. Coming up with this silly portmanteau of spendfulness doesn't help anyone because the portmanteau doesn't tell you what it means. Just tell people that you're a budget and you're budgeting, and this is the best way to budget. Please overcome your identity crisis by realizing your true identity as budgeting software. And if you want to join the YNAB cult, give them a try.
Thanks for listening to Your Money on Easy Mode. If you enjoyed this episode, then please subscribe and share it with a friend.